It's January the 9th, 2020. I'm standing here with Darius Stoker, and we're going to discuss Mr. C's Coconut Grove.
Hey David, thank you so much for introducing me. David Siddons Network, live and direct. Let's talk about it. We're here at Mr. C. A new project, fourth generation Cipriani family, patterned after the hotel down the street, leading hotel of the world. There is a hotel in Beverly Hills, in New York, now here, going to be going global. That's the service that you're going to get here at Mr. C. The Terra Group is the developer, as we know, probably the preeminent developer here in Miami now. And we're trying to offer a product that our clients are looking for. What is that? That's a product that has a hotel feel without the transient aspect. So we have a very, very amenity-rich product here, and the service is going to be the best.
So ultimately, the variables that everyone looks for when they're trying to buy a product, when they're trying to buy a condo, is understanding how any building, obviously in this case Mr. C's, how it compares to other products out there in the market. People are going to come through and they're going to say, okay, so why Mr. C's? And you very accurately and succinctly said to me that it's about service and about lifestyle that goes with it. What is it that, in terms of service, that you can identify and say, this is why this service is so much better?
This is a food and beverage lifestyle type building. It's a building that was built to be a food and beverage lifestyle type building. Other buildings are put together. You have a building, you have a restaurant, and they put the amenities together, and there you have it, just like every other building across all of Miami Beach. This one, from concept to execution, was a building that was created to be a building that was going to serve in-room dining. It's going to have housekeeping. It's going to have one big kitchen in the second floor that serves not only the restaurant open to the public down on the first floor, but on the third floor, there's a Bellini bar, and into in-room dining, that type of construction that was created from the get-go. So, as you were saying, David, the 02 northeast corner, very well received. Everyone comes in, asks about it. We walk people through it all the time. Let's
walk around and let's take a look at that.
So the reason you're here, of course, is to try to find your buyers why they should come here. What about Mr. C would be enticing to people now, currently in January? We released pricing. We started selling this 1 month ago. So that means we have friends and family pricing. We have the best pricing going on right now. The developers are eager to get 20% done. So let me tell you what I believe and what people believe are interesting for investors or for someone who's looking for a pied-à-terre, a second residence down here in Miami. 405 is a 2-bedroom, 1,000 square foot roughly. No wasted square footage on the hallway space. Listed at $831,000. Up on this line, you're going to get closer to about $1 million, but for 1,000 square feet, you get $1 million. For $1 million, you have open views to the south. You do have a building about here, Grove Grand Bay, 215 feet away, and another building here, 215 feet away. But generally, you have all these beautiful open water views, which is the reason why we love this 05 line. And we have some good offerings. We released a couple floors on this friends and family pricing, and I urge you to give David a call and ask him about these.
Thank you. When we get into the 2-bedroom units and when I look at the other products in the market, the first thing that springs to mind is the Park Grove back tower, the Tower 3. And the thing about that, obviously, is that you have Tower 2 and Tower 1 in front of you. So you're set back quite a bit. You obviously have got the water, which is kind of over where we are here, but really talking about the numbers, at $830,000, you really can't get a 2-bedroom in any of the buildings in Coconut Grove that's along the water's edge. Here, obviously, you can. And same once you get to $1 million. Obviously, at this level, you're dealing with a 2-bedroom unit. And again, I urge you to look at the floor plans and compare those to other buildings out there. You cannot get 1,000 square foot units in Grosvenor House, for example. You can't get those 1,000 square foot units in Grove at Grand Bay, and the ones that you did were right on the side, and they were right over 27th. Now that's the thing about the Grove at Grand Bay, as much as I like certain units in there, the 2 bedrooms, the small 2 bedrooms, which were 1,200 square feet, all had 27th running next to you, which obviously creates a legitimate problem. And then outside of that, you've got other boutique buildings in the Grove. You've got the Ritz-Carlton, which is now very, very dated. And then you have to go into some of the very boutique product located down like Arbor and Glass, which was a completely different animal altogether. They don't have that level of service and that level of amenities that you'll experience at Mr. C. So long story short, if you want a pied-à-terre in Coconut Grove, which is really represented and recognized as one of the best markets in the whole of Miami, certainly one of the most economically robust markets, then you really have to look at Mr. C's. And then you can recognize and appreciate that around $1 million, a 2 bedroom represents actually very, very good value. Now, as Darius has pointed out, we're on January the 9th, and this kind of product at early stages moves, and phase 1 is always designed to create critical mass, which means lower prices. Once you get to stage 2, stage 3, prices start to move up. So you've really got to be very aware of the realities of what you might be paying.
I also want to bring home the developer Terra, which I discussed earlier. Grove at Grand Bay, Park Grove, 87 Park, Glass, only does the best things. It's important to know who your developer is. It's important to know what type of product your developer puts out, especially when you're buying pre-construction. The proof is in the pudding with this developer. You have 11-foot ceilings minimum, if not 12, 13-foot ceilings.
11-foot ceilings in here. You know, I like Park Grove. I like Tower 1 is my favorite. The third tower, the back tower, the ceilings are not 11 feet, they're 10. So you've got an extra foot here, and that foot makes a difference. It's not until you get into Tower 2 or Tower 1 do you get more akin to that 11, you actually get 12. But you know, 11 is definitely higher than average. It's definitely higher than you'll get in Grosvenor House. It's higher than you'll get in the Ritz. It's higher than you'll get in any other building. So do bear that in mind. You have to factor in not just your footprint of square footage, but your cubic square foot will really change the sense of space that you have and the living experience that you'll enjoy.
This is the 02, the O2 line, the northeast corner. I love it. David asked me, what's your favorite line in the building? What have people really been gravitating toward? The O2 is the answer. The O2 is a 3-bedroom, 2,523 square feet, interior square footage, a 3-bedroom that can be converted into a 4-bedroom. I love it for that reason. I love it because you have balconies across the whole building wrapping around. I love it because next door, the Marriott doesn't start till halfway down the building, so you have open views to downtown, to Miami Beach, to all the parks, the 7 parks in front of you.
If you want to know how this stacks up compared to the other buildings in the neighborhood, I would urge you to look at the 03 and the 04 line in Grosvenor House and the C line in Park Grove. Now the C line's smaller, it's at 2,235 square feet in Park Grove, and the 3 and the 4 line that you'll see in Grosvenor House are going to come in very much the same. The price differences are not that much. You're actually talking about really on the C lines in Park Grove, the same price point in Tower 2 as you're dealing with here. If you get into Tower 1 in Park Grove on the C line, you're going to be dealing in excess of 3 million. And that you really got to bear that in mind. Grosvenor House, I do like Grosvenor House, but let's face it, it's a 2006 building. It's 14 years, or actually by the time this is complete, it's 16 years older, and that's a huge amount. Both of us trade business on the beach, and what we look at when we look at buildings that are built 15, 16 years ago is they'll probably run, in many cases, 50%, 50 cents on the dollar compared to the new product. This, you're talking about a 15% variance, and that's not that much in the grand scheme of things.
I agree. And with regards to pricing, since again, it is first day, we're only a month in, we still have the friends and family pricing. On the lower floor, we're looking somewhere around 3 million for this 02 line. And on the higher floor, we're looking closer to 4 million on those as well. Direct water views, which is what's enticing everybody. You have the sailboats, you have the marinas, you have the parks, you have everything in front of you.
Darius, thank you. Short and sweet. Hopefully, any questions, as always, you give me a call, email me, WhatsApp me, and of course, once you come in, I'll introduce you to Darius and his partner, Giorgio, who will take you through the project in great detail. We are, I'm a local. I've lived in the Grove for over a decade. Darius knows it extremely well. He's part of the furniture, quote unquote, and we'll be happy to help you get into one of these units at the right price. Speak soon.